Well, it's finally here. You've completed your training, and it's time for your first practice. I hope you're excited as you venture forth into the first phase of this upward season. What should you do first? Well, here are a few suggestions that we would like to share with you in regard to your first practice. The first thing we'd ask you to do, once you receive your team roster and you have your practice date and location established, is take a few minutes to call each member of your team and each member of your squad and let them know who you are, let them know about when practice is scheduled, and so that they can get a little bit of an introduction to you. I would also encourage you that about 5 or 6 days prior to your first practice, send a letter. You can do this by email, and use this opportunity to introduce yourself and your family, a little bit of history of who you are and kind of your background. You can also use this letter to introduce the other coaches who will be coaching with you throughout the season. And this will allow more of a personable introduction, if you will, before you actually meet those players and those parents for the first time. Then a third thing that we ask you to do, perhaps the day before your first practice, simply take a moment, send an email or a text message to each member of your team or squad. Use this as an opportunity to tell each one of them how much you're looking forward to your time together at your first practice, but also it serves as a reminder about where they're supposed to be and when they should be there for practice. Now, one of the things that we really encourage with our coaches for cheer and for basketball is to have a game plan, if you will, for what practice will look like each week. Plan those practices before you ever arrive. One of the things that we ask you to do at your very first practice is to conduct a parents' meeting. This could take place at the very beginning or at the end of your practice time, but use it as an opportunity to get to know your parents and allow them the opportunity to get to know you and the other coaches on your team or squad. You can share a little bit about yourself. You can share some expectations and some things you hope to accomplish throughout the season. And just use it as an opportunity to establish relationships or perhaps build on existing relationships. At your first practice, we'll have several things there on location waiting for you when you arrive that we hope will assist you as you coach your team or squad. There will be a packet of information that will include such things as parent rosters. This will be contact information for everyone that is on your team or squad. You do not have to take the time or energy to duplicate your coach's roster. We want to take care of that for you. There will also be copies of the Scripture memory verses. We talked about that earlier in our practice and how that is an important facet of our upward ministry. And we're going to provide that for you, as well as memory cards that can be used in Scripture memory, the Scripture memory challenge as well. Let's say you're a basketball coach. Well, we'll have whistles on hand for every coach. The reason we do this is that we encourage you to use those at practice so that your players can go ahead and be getting used to the sound of the whistle and understand what that's for. It means to stop what you're doing, and so that we can start doing something different or do it in a different fashion. There will also be your wristbands, which will be used in basketball, so that each player on the court will know who they are assigned to guard in the man-to-man defense. If you are a cheer coach, there will be some type of mechanism, some type of equipment that will be used for sound purposes. It may be a CD player or an old school terminology, a jam box or boom box that can be used as you practice your cheers and dances each week at practice. I share this with you. There's going to be many more tools or aids that we're going to provide for you. The reason for that is that we desire to assist you. We desire to take care as much of the administrative type things that come along with coaching a team or squad, so that in turn your time, your energy, your investment can be maximized to encourage young people in a sports-specific training, but more importantly for the sake of the gospel.